In our final lesson of the Excel 2010 New Features Training video, I'd like to showcase a brand new feature available for the first time in Excel 2010, a new graphical related feature in which you can utilize to display visually the trend in a series of data using what's known as a sparkline. Located on the Insert tab of the Excel 2010 ribbon, in the group called Sparklines, just to the right of the Charts group, you'll find three specific types of sparklines in which you can insert into the cells of your worksheet. Related to charts, a sparkline is an individual chart that lives within a cell and graphically represents a single data series. So as opposed to creating a line chart, which would encapsulate all weekly sales for all 5 salespeople in a single picture or object, what I'll be able to do here is represent each individual salesperson's weekly sales using a line-based sparkline, where each salesperson will be given their own individual sparkline embedded within a cell, starting in cell F5. So with cell F5 currently selected, I'm going to select the option to create a line-based sparkline. Once I give this button a click, Excel will now have me verify the data range that I want represented with the first of my sparklines. I'm going to use the first sparkline in cell F5 to graphically represent the sales data for R. Smith. Having selected the range of B5 through E5, I'll now click OK, where we'll see a simple sparkline inserted into cell F5. And by way of the sparkline, we can see that the sales for R. Smith from week 1 to week 4 are trending downward. You'll also notice with cell F5 still selected containing the sparkline, I now have a Sparkline Tools design ribbon, which provides me with additional choices for formatting my sparkline. For example, I can choose from the Sparkline Style Gallery to choose other colors for the sparkline, as well as apply individual formats by way of menus such as Sparkline Color, or increase the weight of the sparkline by again choosing the Sparkline Color menu, only highlighting the option of weight at the bottom of this menu, where I can choose a different thickness to the sparkline itself. Other choices to the left of the Style Gallery for the sparkline in a group labeled Show allow you to activate certain markers on the sparkline to indicate high points, low points, first points, or last points, just to name a few. In this example, I'll activate all markers by clicking the check mark to the label of markers, at which point we can now see the 4 different data points being graphed by way of our sparkline now indicated in the sparkline itself. In fact, I'd like to take a moment to zoom in so you can get a better look at the markers available currently on my sparkline in cell F5. You'll also have the option of changing the sparkline colors. For example, using the marker color, I can change all markers on the sparkline to a different color, in this case a light shade of blue. Next, I'll indicate the high point of the sparkline using a color of green, and the low point of the sparkline markers using a color of red. So at this point we can see the highest data point in the sparkline with green and the lowest data point represented by red. Finally, to copy this sparkline to other cells within the trend column, I can utilize a common feature in Excel that is oftentimes used to copy values, formulas, or formatting to other cells, that feature being the autofill command. So by placing my mouse pointer on the autofill handle in the lower right corner of cell F5, I can now click and drag down to the other 4 cells for the other 4 salespeople, now copying my sparkline created in cell F5 to cells F6 through F9.